The scream pierced the humid summer air like a siren, sharp and unyielding, rattling the windows of my quiet suburban home. I bolted outside, heart pounding, to find Karen, the HOA's self-appointed enforcer, red-faced and shrieking at my locked pool gate. Her teenage son, Jake, stood beside her, phone pressed to his ear, his voice trembling as he spoke to a 911 operator. "Yes, it's an emergency. This woman's gate is locked, and it's a safety hazard." Karen's eyes locked onto mine, venomous, as she bellowed, "You're endangering the neighborhood with that lock." I stood frozen, disbelief washing over me. My pool, my property, my lock installed after months of kids sneaking in, leaving trash and breaking chairs. And now Karen, the queen of petty complaints, had escalated to this? I took a deep breath, forcing calm into my voice. "Karen, this is my property. The lock is legal. You're standing on my land without permission." Her face twisted, incredulous, as if I'd slapped her. Jake, still on the phone, faltered, his eyes darting between us. The operator's voice crackled through, asking for clarification. Karen snatched the phone, her voice booming. "This woman's gate is a danger. Someone could drown." I almost laughed at the absurdity. My pool was fenced, compliant with every regulation, and Karen knew itched inspected it herself last summer, nitpicking the height of the rails. I pulled out my phone, opened the HOA bylaws, and read aloud the section on private property rights. Karen's face paled, but she doubled down, accusing me of defying community standards. The neighbors, drawn by the commotion, gathered at the edge of my yard, whispering. Among them was Mrs. Ellis, the quiet widow who rarely spoke at meetings. Her presence felt odd, but I brushed it off, focused on Karen's tirade. The tension snapped when 2 police officers arrived, their cruiser's lights casting eerie red and blue shadows. Karen rushed to them, pointing at me like I was a criminal. "She's endangering lives," she cried. I explained calmly, showing the officers the lock, the bylaws, and my property deed. Jake, now silent, shuffled behind his mother, avoiding eye contact. The officers turned to Karen, asking why she was on my property. She sputtered, claiming HOA authority. But the senior officer cut her off. "Ma'am, you're trespassing. And your son's call to 911? That's misuse of emergency services." Karen's jaw dropped, her confidence crumbling. Then, Mrs. Ellis stepped forward, her voice soft but firm. "Officers, I saw Jake climb the fence last week, swimming in her pool after midnight. I didn't say anything then, but..." The crowd gasped. Jake's face turned crimson, and Karen froze, betrayed by her own son's actions. The twist hit like a thunderclap. Karen's crusade wasn't about safety. It was a cover for Jake's trespassing. The officers turned to Jake, who stammered, admitting he'd snuck in just once. Karen's bravado collapsed. She tried to deflect, blaming me for tempting kids with an unsecured pool. But the officers weren't buying it. They issued her a warning for trespassing and a stern lecture about false 911 calls. The neighbors, once Karen's silent allies, now murmured in disapproval. Mrs. Ellis, the unexpected witness, gave me a small, knowing nod. Karen's reign of petty tyranny was unraveling. As the officers left, she grabbed Jake's arm, dragging him away, her voice a mix of fury and humiliation. The crowd dispersed, leaving me standing by my locked gate, the weight of vindication settling in. In the days that followed, the neighborhood buzzed with the story. Karen resigned from the HOA board, her reputation shattered. Jake, grounded and embarrassed, avoided my street. I replaced the lock with a sturdier one, not out of spite, but as a quiet assertion of my rights. Mrs. Ellis stopped by with a plate of cookies, confessing she'd kept silent about Jake to avoid Karen's wrath, but felt compelled to speak when she saw the injustice. Her courage reminded me that even in a community fractured by petty power plays, truth could prevail. Standing by my pool, I realized this wasn't just about a lock kit, it was about standing up to bullies, about reclaiming what's yours. Karen's fall wasn't just a victory, it was a lesson. Sometimes, the loudest voices are the most fragile, and one quiet truth can drown them out. What do you think? Was I right to stand my ground, or should I have handled it differently? Share your thoughts.